What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I hope everybody is having an amazing day. Better than the day I'm having and the lawnmower man outside is having. I do want to say thank you for all of the love on my Say It or Shot It video. That was very painful to record, very painful the next day. Those of you who are asking for a part 2, never gonna happen. No. Today we are doing a different video. We are going to be having a little girly chat, a little talk. I want my channel to be a place that you like feel safe and you feel comfortable and we can just talk about things. And I've always said, like, I really hope that I can kind of be like a big sister on YouTube that maybe you don't have or maybe you need, or just somebody that makes you feel less alone. That is the reason that I do YouTube, because I really needed somebody to make me feel like that back then and I didn't have it. So I kind of just wanted to record a video today where I was answering your questions, talking about things that maybe you wouldn't normally feel comfortable asking, or things that you just need help with. I would love to like call this something, like I kind of want it to be a thing that I do regularly, that I just have like these little girly chats with you guys. And there are questions from boys in here too. I don't mean to discriminate. This is not just for the girls. I want this to be like an open place where you feel safe coming to me with questions, and maybe this is something that I can do more often. So if you like this video and you want to have a chat with me about relationship things, you know, private things, personal things, I'm not gonna hold back. I'm here to tell you my answers. I'm not saying they're all right, but I have lived a lot of life for 24, I would like to think, and I've been through a lot, and I would just like to share my experiences with you, and if they help you guys in any way, make you feel less alone if you're experiencing that, then that is my goal here. So without further ado, let's chat. I had you guys ask me some things on Instagram, or just like some topics that you wanted me to talk about. So I'm just gonna go through and I will just answer a few. Question 1. Why are all men shit? That's a good one. I will say not all men are shit. Like you know that. You know not all men are shit. A lot of them are, don't get me wrong. Most of them, to be fair. My thing is, if I meet a man that sucks and he just sucks, I have this issue and this tendency to be like, well, how could he do that to me, because I would never do that to him. And that comes down to men just being shit, and that sucks, because I think we want answers. We all want a reason for somebody to do something crappy to us so that it like makes sense. I think it almost justifies it for us. My advice to you on that, I know this isn't the exact question, but I feel like this is important to share, and my therapist said something to me once and I was like, girl, I'm holding on to that one. I was asking her about somebody and I was saying like, how could he do this to me? Why would he do this to me? And she just said, because he's a bad person. And I remember being like, what? Like, that's it? Like, that's it? He's just a bad person? And she was like, yeah, you're a good person, he's a bad person. And like, honestly, sometimes it's that simple. And I don't believe that people are inherently bad. Like, I don't think people wake up bad. I think it has to do with how they were raised and their beliefs and their morals and a lot of things like that, and that makes somebody who they are. So I think my advice as far as like, if you are around a man who is shit, who sucks, then by God, don't blame yourself, because somebody's actions are only a reflection of them. And it's the perfect example, like if somebody treats you like dirt, if somebody cheats on you, whatever, I find so many girls, like their immediate thought is like, what did I do? What did I do wrong? But like, honey, no. Like if somebody treats you badly, like that is because of them. That's because of who they are in their heart, what they believe is right and wrong, you know, and that goes back to how they were raised, what they went through, whatever else it is. But like, that has nothing to do with you. And sometimes it's as simple as like, you're a good person and they're a bad person. And some are just shit and some are not shit. But there are good guys out there, you know there are. It's just hard to find them, let me tell you. How do you not worry or feel insecure in a relationship? This 100% comes down to you. I think as women especially, we are so quick to want validation from somebody else, and like if we're feeling insecure or we're feeling jealous, we blame the other person. Even me, I was very quick in past relationships to be like, well, I feel insecure, I feel jealous. I mean, how often do we actually say I feel insecure? Nobody likes saying that. But like, there were so many times where I was like, where you make me feel like I'm not good enough, you make me feel like I'm not worth more, or whatever it is. And honestly, like, I think it's very true that people can make you feel that way, but the only way to not feel insecure is to work on you and to work on yourself, and know that no matter what anyone does to you, you are worth it and you are enough. And if somebody cheats on you to be with somebody else, or if somebody lies to you, for example, like, that's not because you're not good enough, or you're not pretty enough, or you're not this or that enough. That's a reflection of them and their decisions, and it has nothing to do with you. And the only way to not feel insecure is to be secure in yourself and to work on yourself. And I can confidently say that I'm at a point now that if I was like hanging out with a guy, for example, and he went and cheated on me, or well, not cheated on me because I'm not in a relationship, but if he went and like lied to me or hung out with somebody else and like tried to hide it from me or something like that, I would just be like, you're lost, go on then, have fun with that. Like, because I know in my heart now, in my soul, like after a few months of being alone and really working on myself, I know that I'm worth it. I know that I'm worthy of someone awesome, and you need to know that too. And I can't tell you, for several months after I was single, I spent a lot of time in this bed, girl. I spent a lot of time crying with a glass of wine in my hand, and I was sad and it sucked, and I felt like, why did it go wrong, or whatever it is. But like, I literally got to the point, and I tell my girlfriends this now, when I catch them being like, well, what did I not do, or what did I do? I'm literally like, look at yourself in the damn mirror and tell yourself, I did nothing wrong. I'm worth everything. I'm beautiful. I'm awesome. And it sounds so stupid, but I promise you, after some time, you will believe it. And it took me so much time and so many tears to get off my ass and look at myself in the face and be like, you know what? You deserve everything, and you are worth it, and you're worthy of being happy and being fulfilled. And do you find yourself like not understanding that, or you feel insecure about yourself, or you feel like you're not worth it, or you're not pretty, you literally have to teach these things to yourself. You have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm beautiful and I'm worthy and I deserve good things in my life, until you believe it. After months and months of that, genuinely like a crazy person, looking at myself and saying things like that and writing it down, I'm now at a point where if anyone didn't appreciate me and didn't respect me, I would just be like, I don't need this. I deserve more. I deserve everything. Like, and I'm not gonna say that will last forever. That cracks sometimes and feelings get in the way and whatever else. But like right now, I'm so confident and sure of what I want, and I just wish every woman felt that way, and I hope you feel that way. And that's my advice to you. If you're feeling insecure, then it's about you. You've got to work on you, and remember the bad bitch you are. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna share it. I feel like I'm opening my soul here. Okay, I have a playlist on Spotify, and it's called the Bad Bitch Playlist. Maybe I'll have to do a YouTube video on the Bad Bitch Playlist, because it's important. And when my BBB girls are having a moment, I'm like, go listen to the playlist. And they know what I'm talking about. Because you just gotta remember who the fuck you are. Like, this is so rough, but like, you do. Like, you weren't born to live an average life. You weren't born to spend every second and every day with somebody who doesn't appreciate you and fight for you and chase you and treat you like a lady. Girls, if he doesn't open the car door for you, go inside. Walk your ass back inside. There are so many little things that I feel like we as women, we let it slide because we like someone. But no, stand up for yourself. You are a woman. You were born to be respected and appreciated. And if somebody doesn't see that and appreciate you and respect you, then send them on their way, because somebody out there will. Somebody should adore you, and you should not accept anything less. And I know I won't, and you shouldn't either. I could talk about this all day long. I'm gonna link the Bad Bitch playlist below, so if you're having a moment and you need to just know who you are, and you need to remember that you are a badass bitch and you deserve everything, then listen to this playlist when you're in the car. And I hope it makes you feel better. It's very personal for me to share my Spotify playlist, but I feel like you guys might need it, because a lot of the questions are about these crappy guys, and I'm like, just go listen to the playlist, okay? And part 2, read this book. I'm gonna put it right here. And there's something about this book that really taught me that people's actions aren't a reflection of me. And if I'm feeling bad about myself, or I'm feeling jealous, then like, that's not because of the other person. That's because of something inside me. And it really taught me to just be alone in my thoughts and take ownership of my feelings and stop blaming other people for them. Because like, the way that I feel and the way that I react, like, that is all I have control over. All we have control over is our actions and our feelings, how we react to things. We don't have control over what other people do. So why should we let what other people do have control over us? And this book really taught me that. So highly recommend, pick up that book. I need to move on to the next question, because I could rant about this all day long. Let's see. How to love your imperfections. I always have thoughts in my head that I'm not enough for a man. First of all, you are more than enough for any man. And you've got to know that. You've got to know it in who you are, and like, trust who you are and trust that you are enough. Like, there's nothing average about you. There's nothing that isn't enough about you. It may not be the right thing for a certain man, but that doesn't mean it's not the right thing for somebody else. Let's say the scenario, whoever asked this question, let's say you were dating somebody and they broke up with you and it didn't work out. Your immediate thought can't be, I'm not enough, or what did I do wrong? Your immediate thought has to be, you know, yes, it hurts and we're gonna grieve over like loss of relationships and friendships in life, and like that hurts. Don't get me wrong, I know. I lived here for a while. But we also have to acknowledge, kind of like I said in the beginning, like it has nothing to do with you not being enough. Like it might just not be the right fit. There will be somebody out there who it will be the right fit for. And the exact thing that somebody hates about you, somebody else might love. And like, I can tell you that from experience. I meet people all the time who think I'm so annoying because like my voice is annoying, or they think I'm stuck up because I'm a YouTuber or whatever. And then I meet other people who think my voice is cute and funny, and they think it's cool that I do YouTube. And the same goes for you. Like, whatever it is, you're never not enough. You just might not be somebody's cup of tea, but you will be somebody else's. And you have to know that and take it with a grain of salt. Like, I know it's so annoying when people are like, there's a million fish in the sea, but there literally is. There are so many people out there, and when you open yourself up to just say, hey, like, I'm gonna put myself out there and I'm gonna try, and if it doesn't work out, then it's their loss. That's the kind of confidence we need in ourselves, where we're like, you know, I'm not gonna let a man take me down. I'm not gonna let a man make me feel like I'm not good enough, because I'm so sure that I'm good enough, that I don't need him to tell me whether I am or not. And if he doesn't want me and he doesn't like me, then be on your way. That's your loss, that's your issue. See ya. That's my 2 cents on it. Topic: keeping passion in a relationship. Interesting. I feel like this is fair for me to touch on. I was in the same relationship for about 4.5, 5 years. So I would just say keeping passion in a relationship comes down to literally how you feel about a person. I think when it's the right person, then there's always passion. There's always that like want and that desire for each other, and it's not forced. And obviously over time you get more comfortable with each other, and I lived with somebody for a very long time, and things do get comfy, and it's effort. There's some questions on here about long distance relationships too, and it's just putting in the effort. Like, to keep the passion, try something new. Whether that means you like try something new by going on a fun date, or maybe your usual date is to go to dinner, and maybe you do something different, like, oh, maybe let's go on a hike. Like, experience new things together. I will say I found that passion kind of came back in my last relationship. This is weird to talk about. When we were able to kind of like remember where we started, and for us, we traveled a lot. So when we traveled, it kind of like brought that passion back. When we started seeing each other, that was the thing that we were passionate about, and that's the thing that brought us together, was traveling and seeing new places and exploring new cities. So even if it came down to like we were living somewhere and we were comfortable, it kind of brought that back for us to just like go explore a new area of town, or go explore a new city, or whatever it was. And that was our thing. So maybe in the beginning of your relationship, figure out like what made you passionate, like what made you both really excited, and revisit that. Find a way to go back to that or do that thing, and it kind of like brings back those memories. You could also, you know, if we're gonna go to this side of things, girl, buy some lingerie that makes you feel amazing, because he's gonna love it. Put in that extra, hey, did you forget? Like, I feel like guys, I mean women too, we can get really comfortable and kind of forget to do those little things. And send a little text, like even if you're in the same house, like send a little text like, be in here, you know, at 8 p.m. Bring wine, you know, and you be in here wearing something you've never worn before. Like, you gotta do those little things that are kind of like a reminder of like, hey, I'm here, hey, this is who you've got, like in case you forgot. Hello. I think that kind of keeps passion going. It's like doing those little fun things that are like unexpected. Maybe it's trying something new in bed. Like I said, maybe it's buying lingerie. Maybe it's something as simple as surprising them with coffee in the morning. Like, it's really the little things that kind of keep the passion alive. So, how did you move on from your breakup, and was it your choice? Okay, let's do it then. So, was it my choice? We'll start with that. Yes, I chose to move on, and it was the right decision for me, and I am very confident that it was the right decision for me. And as far as how did I move on, it's just time. It's literally time. I'm still in that process. Like, it's definitely difficult, you know, when you share a lot of your life with anybody, even if it's a short period of time. Like, if you share a piece of your life with somebody, then moving on and moving past that is always going to be hard. It's always going to be testing and confusing and sad. And I will say therapy made a huge difference, and spending time alone and spending time with friends made a huge difference. So as far as what I did and like the tangible steps that I took, because so many people are like, okay, yeah, time, but like, what did you do? What did you actually do? I will say for about a month, I pretty much didn't leave my bed. That was part one. I was just sad, and I had to be sad. I had to process and grieve and be sad. To me, the only way I can describe what I went through is it felt like a death. Like, it literally felt like I was grieving somebody that died, because I lost them from my life. And I don't know if anyone can relate to that. It sounds kind of weird to say that, but I remember feeling so sad that I like couldn't function, and my therapist being like, I'm gonna show you what the grief cycle is. And you don't think of the word grief unless you think of like the death of a loved one. And that is genuinely what it felt like. It felt like I was grieving a life of somebody else that was, you know, part of my life 24/7, and then all of a sudden wasn't. Like, it felt like he died in the like least morbid way possible. And it also felt like I was grieving my life and what it could have been and what I lost. Like, I lost not only like somebody that I loved, but I also lost my life with that person and the potential of what our life could have been in the future. And I grieved, like I literally grieved. And I don't even know how to explain that. And I think without my therapist, it would have been very hard to navigate that. And the grief cycle kind of goes like anger, denial, freaking like sadness, forgiveness, something else. Like, it's like this weird cycle. And the key part there is that it's a cycle. And that's what was so hard for me, because I kept looking for like the ending point. Like, okay, I've been angry, I've been sad, I've been this, I've been that. Like, when's it gonna end? But it's a cycle. And it kind of keeps going until you move forward. And I will say that's part of it. Like, you have to grieve. That's how to move on. You have to grieve first. And then when I was like, okay, enough, and I was literally only seeing my therapist at that point. Like, I pretty much only left the house to go to therapy. If there's somebody that you can talk to if you're really struggling, please reach out to somebody. It made a world of difference for me. And after that, when I started to be a little bit more okay and functional, I started making a plan. So every single day on a whiteboard, I would literally write what I was gonna do the next day. I have this one from Target that's like morning, afternoon, and evening. And I would write one task, even if it was like eat breakfast, like simple tasks. And over time, they became a little more complex. So in the beginning, it was literally like eat breakfast, eat lunch, go to the gym, eat dinner. And that was it. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this tomorrow and I'm gonna cross it off. And I'm not gonna lie, not every day I could even do that. I started to have structure and I needed that. I had to be like, okay, you're gonna do these things and hold myself accountable. That was a big piece of it for me, and that helped. And over time, I got a little better at it. I asked for help a lot. I asked my family for a lot of help. And that was really hard, and I felt really ashamed. There was a point when my apartment was a mess and I couldn't do it by myself. I couldn't bear the weight of my grief by myself. And that's so important to recognize and just put down your pride and be like, I can't do this alone and I need some help. So I would say part two of moving on. So, okay, so part one of moving on, cry, grieve, be sad. Part two, start making a schedule, giving yourself some structure, you know, write down things to do and hold yourself accountable to do them. Part three, this is probably all of the parts, but ask for help. If you're struggling and you're crying and you can't be alone, call a friend and ask them to come over. For me, I didn't really have any friends then. I called my mom. And I remember more than once calling her and being like, I can't believe I'm asking you this, but I really need help cleaning my apartment. Like, I need help. I know it's small, I know it's stupid, but like, I really need you to come over and just help me clean up because I'm too overwhelmed. And every time I tried, I just couldn't do it, or I would cry and I couldn't finish it. So ask for help, ask for friends. Part four, get involved in something. Literally get involved in something, anything, a community. You need a group, you need community, you need to be around people and do things that keep you busy and can distract you. And for me, that was to get involved in a life group. So I joined a life group at my church, which isn't meeting right now, which sucks so bad because of quarantine. But I joined a life group and I was so nervous and so scared. And I'm not gonna lie, the first like 3 or 4 times I met with my life group, I like held it together for the hour that I was with them, and then I would go sit in my car and cry because I just couldn't do it yet. But being with them and, you know, being around just like wonderful women literally just reminded me that there were good people in the world and that it was going to be okay, and they would pray for me and be there for me, and that was so valuable just to know that I had that community. And they were so amazing, and they still are. They would be like, Brittany, how can we help you? Like, we know you're struggling. What can we do to help? What can we do to help with YouTube or filming or whatever it was? And like, they were just so amazing, and that's so valuable. So get a community, that's important. Luckily, since then I have made friends, which is awesome, but I love my life group. And then honestly, like within all of that, it's like work on yourself, spend time alone. That is what I did. I spent a ton of time alone, and I will say, I love spending time alone. I think I'm awesome, and I love hanging out with myself. And that sounds so stupid, but it's literally so true. Like, I enjoy myself in spending time alone, and I never did before. And I think it was because I didn't like myself, because I wasn't happy, and I wasn't demanding what I deserved. And I like hanging out with myself now because, I don't know, like I like who I am, and I spend a lot of time reading books. I read Get Your Shit Together. I read How to Be Alone. I read some poetry books. I went to therapy. I just spent time alone, hanging out with myself and learning who I was and the mistakes that I'd made, and learning to forgive myself for the mistakes I made. And even now, like if I spend a couple days with other people and my friends, I'm like, okay, I need a couple days alone. Like I need to just be by myself, because I'm still processing today, and it's just time. Like it just literally takes time, but you have to invest in you. I worked out a lot. I worked on my body, which I'm very happy with now. I'm stronger than I've ever been. But I just started pouring all of the love that I poured into somebody else into myself, and it literally changed who I am to a T. And I know that I have good things ahead of me, and I'm confident, and I feel good about who I am. And there's so many things that you have to learn about yourself, and to be secure with yourself, that takes being alone and not getting that validation from anyone but you. I'm gonna get emotional talking about it because it's just a lot, but just know that it's possible. Like I have never been in a worse place than I was in like February, March of this year, and I am literally doing better than I ever have now, and it's just possible. So just don't forget that. Like there is a light at the end of the tunnel. It will get better in time, and you will learn to live your life again, and you will move on, and you will be okay, and you will meet someone awesome who adores you, and it's all possible. Like just never forget it. And if you're ever struggling, please feel free to reach out to me, because I'm always here. I just talked about that for so long. I'm only gonna answer one more question, or this video is literally gonna be 45 minutes long, and I can totally do a part 2 and answer the rest of these. Ooh, tips for dealing with low sex drive and a partner with a high sex drive. I'm gonna save that for part 2. Maybe the part 2 I'll just answer all the sex questions because it's separate. How do you discover your worth, and how do you know you're worthy of all the good things? Because you are. You were born to be worthy of good things and live a good life, and not an average one or a crappy one, let me tell you. What helps you distance yourself from talking to somebody that gives you mixed feelings all the time? This one is from one of my guys that asked a question, so I will end it on this. I feel like this whole video is just gonna be about knowing your worth, which I'm fine with. But I would say if somebody is giving you mixed feelings, if somebody isn't sure about you, if they're not sure they wanna be with you, if they aren't sure how they feel, or sometimes they're about you and sometimes they're not, move on. Move on, because you have to look at yourself. Look at yourself first, because I'm guessing whoever asked this, if you're feeling like, hey, somebody's giving me mixed feelings, then your feeling is probably like, I'm 100% about them, so why are they only 50% about me? Let me tell you this loud and clear. Whatever you give to somebody else, you deserve in return. Exactly that, if not more. I'm gonna say it one more time. Whatever you give to somebody else, you deserve in return. And if you are capable of treating somebody in this certain way, then that means there is somebody out there that exists that is capable of treating you equal to that. For me, I, in my past relationships, often felt like I treated somebody so well, and I didn't always get that in return. And I remember my high school boyfriend specifically saying, like, this is the best you're ever gonna find, like, you're never gonna find better than this. And I remember thinking, you know what, if I'm capable of treating you this well, then there is somebody out there who's capable of treating me this well. I'm not the only one in the world who treats people this way. So know that, first and foremost. If somebody's giving you mixed feelings, are you giving them mixed feelings? Because if you're not, then find somebody who's gonna be 100% about you. Like, why waste your time with somebody who doesn't know? Life is way too short, especially now. It's like, if you're young, if you're in your, hell, I don't care how old you are. Like, there is just not time to be with somebody who is halfway for you. There really isn't, especially if you're somebody who puts 100% in. It's just a waste. You are worth somebody who gives all of it to you. Worth somebody who wakes up in the morning and thinks, you know, what can I do today to make this person happy? And I know I'm deserving of that because I used to wake up every single day and think that. Like, what can I do today to, you know, make this person happy and make sure he knows that he's loved? Like, how, if I can give that to somebody, then I want it back. And I will wait until I have that, and I will not accept anything less. So if somebody is giving you mixed feelings and they're not 100%, then move right on and give yourself the chance to meet somebody who will be 100% about you. Don't close that door, because being with somebody who's halfway about you and isn't sure about you, you're potentially missing out on somebody who could be awesome and could be 100% about you. So just don't waste your time. Like, you deserve all of the good things. You deserve somebody who is as good to you as you are to them. That is my 2 cents. So looks like there's gonna be a part 2 because I think I answered like 5 questions and there's a million. So I guess this whole video is just gonna be about knowing your worth, knowing who you are and how to get over a breakup. And all of that comes down to just like standing in your confidence and standing in who you are and knowing you're a bad bitch. And you can do anything you want and you can have anything you want, and it is worth waiting for, and the good dream life that you want is worth fighting for. I promise. Don't waste your time on anything that is not that. If you liked this video and you want to see more videos like this, more girl talks, then give me a little thumbs up on this video or comment down below what kind of things you want to see. Or if you have a name, like an idea for a name for this video series, then definitely do that too. And other than that, I will see you guys very, very soon. I hope everybody is doing well in quarantine. I'm sending all my love. So I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video.